It's been a pretty interesting past 24 hours to say the very least. The video that we put out about eBay's new promoted listings changes, that video got like 24,000 views within the first 24 hours. I'm hoping that this will be an update video. So far, here's what's happened. eBay's community director, Brian Burke, reached out to me this afternoon. I jumped on a phone call with him. He explained things as well as he could, answered a few of my questions, and then he offered to put me on the phone with eBay's promoted listings team. I've accepted that offer, and I'm going to be getting on the phone with them in half an hour. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to gather my thoughts. I want to write down as many questions as I can come up with to get better answers for you guys. That's going to be the goal of this call. That's going to be the goal of this video. Hopefully I have some answers for you guys after this call. I will keep you updated. But the next step right now is let's hear it directly from eBay. What is going on and what should we be doing as eBay sellers?
1 hour later.
Okay, so spent 30 minutes on the phone with eBay. Just got off the call with them now. It was a great conversation. I'm gonna take a second just to kind of digress because that was a very intense call. But I think I got most of our questions answered, and I think that this will probably help a lot of you guys out as well in deciding what you want to do with your eBay listings and business. So let me go back, let me digress a bit, and then I'll come back and tell you guys what I found out. All right. You guys will have to excuse me if my voice is a little bit hoarse. Like I said, that was a bit of an intense conversation that we had, but I wanted to get into the answers that we got from eBay. So I had a list of questions that I asked, and I'm just gonna go through these and tell you what eBay's answers were to the questions that I asked. Before I do that, I do wanna just say something. It's nice of eBay to even take the time to reach out to us and say, we'll get on a call with you and answer these questions. So I appreciate eBay doing that. But let's go through these questions. So the very first question I wanted to know, and this confirms the fall seller update. We knew that this was coming, but I just wanted to hear it from eBay exactly if it was going to stay like that and what is happening. So the question I asked is, if your listing is being promoted and it shows up in one of the promoted listings, so it shows in one of the sponsored listing spots, will it now not show up in the organic search results, so in the regular search results? So will the listing only show once, either as promoted or as organic? And the answer to that was yes. If it's showing as promoted, it will not show up in the organic search results. The next question I had is, there's also sponsored ads on eBay at the bottom of the page. So if you scroll all the way down in eBay, sometimes there's sponsored ads in the middle too, but at the bottom of the search results, there's also sponsored listings down there sometimes. So my question was, if I'm showing up in that sponsored listing at the very bottom of the page, will I also be taken out of organic listings? And the answer to that was yes. If you're showing down there, you're still going to be removed from the organic search results. Now, that being said, eBay told me that that would only happen if the promoted listing is ranking better than the organic search results. So it's to give that search a boost. So for example, if I'm ranking at that bottom, in that bottom slot on the bottom of the page, that means that my original listing would have been found only in page 2, 3, 4, 5 of the eBay searches. So that is giving me a boost onto the first page of eBay where I would have been found only on subsequent pages. So that's how that was explained. The next question I asked is, if you are running ad blocker, so I wanted to clarify the ad blocker thing with them. So if you are running ad blocker on your browser, will in some cases no promoted listings show? Their answer to that was yes. In less than 2% of cases, that'll happen. No promoted listings will show. So my follow-up question was, okay, if my listing is showing or supposed to be showing in one of those sponsored spots, someone has ad blocker on and it is now eliminated, what happens? And the answer is your listing will not be shown at all on eBay. So it doesn't go back into organic. It just isn't showing. But again, that is in less than 2%, according to eBay. That's in less than 2% of cases. They also said that that is a known issue. They know about it. They are addressing it. And there is going to be an update to hopefully fix that situation in the next month, the update will be coming out. So that's the question answered on ad blocker. My next question was, how many spots on the page will eBay allocate to sponsored listings? Is there a limit, right? Because there used to just be, there could be a whole bunch of sponsored listings, but now is there a limit? And specifically, I wanted to know about above the fold. So I wanted to know about the top of the page. How many sponsored listings would eBay allow up there before you start to hit organic results? And the answer to that was it can be up to 5. So a maximum of 5 sponsored or promoted listings at the top of the page. It could be 1, it could be none, but it can be up to 5. So earlier in the conversation, I asked eBay, what is the reasoning for them doing only a promoted listing and not an organic listing, right? And their answer was, it's messy for the buyer. They want the buyer experience to be better, and they don't want the same listings shown twice because it crowds the page. That was their answer. So after I asked the question of, okay, how many top spots are available? Only up to 5, right? 5 maximum. My follow-up question was, okay, well, if there is a limited amount of spots, right? Let's say there's only 5, and let's say there's 200 listings shown on the first page when you're searching on eBay. If there are only 5 and they cycle through the top sponsored listings, if I'm promoting my item and 500 other people are also promoting their item, we're all sharing those 5 spots. So it's cycling through, right? It's putting some people in and some people in organic. So if there's only 5 spots and there's 200 spots on the home page, right? Organic and promoted mixed together, would it really be that crowded if you're cycling through those 5 to put the listing again back into search? And their answer to that was, again, from the buyer experience side, they just don't want them to see 2 of the same listing. That was their answer. This was the only one that I actually do disagree with. I think as a buyer, it wouldn't be that confusing if there's that many slots to fill. The 5 promoted listings, or sometimes it's 1 promoted listings up at the top. If that's there and then the item is still put back in organically, personally, I don't see how that's messy. But that was eBay's response. From the buyer experience, that's how they want it to be. So the next question I asked was kind of interesting, and this is how it's always been with promoted listings, but I wanted to ask the question to see what was happening. So because we're technically being taken, a spot's being taken out of organic listing. If you're doing promotions and you're showing as promoted, you're not getting that second opportunity shown to the buyer to try to get the sale, right? So that's being taken away. We know that for a fact. So my question was, if a buyer or a potential buyer lands on eBay and clicks on my promoted listing, so they click through on my promoted listing, and then they don't buy it, does eBay put a tracking cookie on? So if the buyer leaves eBay and then comes back 3 weeks later and finds my listing organically at that point and then purchases it, do I still pay the promoted listing fee? And the answer to that was yes. It's not a change. It's always been like that with promoted listing, but that is a fact. There is a 30-day window. If you're running a promoted listing and a buyer clicks on the promotion and goes into the listing, doesn't buy it, right? And then leaves eBay and comes back up to 30 days later, searches again, so they're finding you organically in eBay's organic search. They click on it and they buy it, you still pay the promoted listing fee. So I wanted to clear that up. That is in fact the case. You are responsible for that promoted listing fee always, or up to 30 days anyway. Next, I wanted to ask about pay-per-click. What that is, for those of you who don't know, is it's an ad that's run, and each time somebody clicks on it, you pay a small fee. Google's had it around forever, and I wanted to ask if eBay was going to be implementing a pay-per-click in the future, because I had heard that they would be implementing it. And I asked, if that's happening, what is going to happen to sponsored listings as they sit now? The answer was that they are going to be testing pay-per-click in the future. So I believe they said this year they're going to be beta testing it, and then they are going to be probably rolling it out in addition to promoted listings. So promoted listings will not go away. Pay-per-click will not replace promoted listings. They will both be there. They will both be tools that eBay sellers can use to advertise their items. And then the final question that I asked, which to me is the most important question, because this is what I wanted to know so that we could really bring it back to you guys. The question I asked is, so then as sellers on eBay, What can we do under these new guidelines? What can we do to give our listings better exposure in the search? What can we do to make sure that our item is getting exposure, and what gives us the best chance to get the sale? Their answer was a bit generic, which I kind of expected, but the answer was they have a list of best listing practices, stuff like taking good pictures, putting out good images. I asked them about white backgrounds. They said that is what Google wants, so white backgrounds are good, but you want to make sure that you're taking high quality, good images of the item. Obviously, you want to make sure you're describing the item accurately and you're titling the item accurately. But the big thing that they harped on as well is make sure that you're using item specifics. Those are like your keywords, kind of like your hashtags on Instagram or Twitter, but eBay's using those item specifics kind of like that. They want you to put in as many item specifics as you can that are accurate, obviously, but they want you using those item specifics on eBay. So good pictures, good listing, and a lot of item specifics that are accurate. That's what they consider a good listing. And that's what will get you ranked higher in organic search. And then the one thing that Mr. Brian Burke also said was eBay's coming up with these tools, right? Promotions, sales on your item, pay-per-click possibly in the future. But eBay has these tools and we should do our own tests with them to see which ones work best for our business. Run your own tests, see what's working, what's not working, and go from there. So their job is to develop the tools, make them work, and then offer them to us. It's not up to us to decide how eBay wants the tools to work, but it is up to us to test those tools for our own businesses and see what is working and what is not working. So I'll leave you with this. From our point of view, was I happy with the answers that I got from eBay? No, I was happy that they gave us the answers. I was happy that they answered my questions. I'm still not sold with the way that things are currently designed with promoted listings. I think there's things in there that should be tweaked, and maybe they will in the future, I don't know. I don't work for eBay. I don't know what they're gonna do. What I will say though is we will be using tools like Brian said. We will be testing out certain things to see if it works for our business, and we will do our best to update you on what is working for us and what isn't working for us. But also keep in mind that everybody's business is different. Sometimes things work for one seller and sometimes they don't work for another seller. My suggestion to you would be to test them out yourselves. Don't make any rash decisions based on what we say. All we can do is try to find out the facts for you, and that's what I've tried to do over the past 24 hours. That's really what I've tried to do. I've tried to reach out to eBay. I've tried to get the facts for you guys, and hopefully through the camera, I am portraying what eBay is telling me. So that's it for now, guys. Go out and test things for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section. Subscribe to our videos because again, we will be testing things out and hopefully we'll be able to show you guys our results on eBay as well. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and there's an update for you on what's happening with eBay's promoted listings. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.